we're just not going to talk about the last couple of days. We agree with that? Perfect. Two things. One, the second thing is huge, but one, summer is fighting hard. We are mid-September. At this point, it should be sad and colder and rainier. And so far, we're not seeing it. My car says 82. Now, my car might be capping, but it says it's 82. The second thing, which is huge, and which I will probably dedicate the rest of the video to because it's easy to talk about, and I can give thoughts throughout the day, YouTube just had a huge, like, I don't know if it's like, would you call it a creator summit? I don't know, but they said a huge thing, and a bunch of new news and features and all sorts of other crazy stuff just got announced, and we need to talk about it. So in my humble opinion, I feel like streaming has been a little bit neglected by YouTube in particular. Now, I understand in terms of content creation styles or how most people create streaming. I mean, honestly, I don't know, but I know that streaming, like vertical content, is much more lucrative for obvious reasons. But with that in mind, we still exist. Us YouTube streamers, we're a proud bunch. So, with that in mind, it felt like we were a little bit lacking on new features and kind of progressing as a community. I don't know, but it just feels like we weren't getting as much love with YouTube's new features. Lots of new stuff for shorts and short streaming, like vertical streaming, but not a whole lot with vertical until today. So they announced a lot today. But in terms of streaming news, which again, we haven't gotten a lot of, but today we did get some love. So some of the cool things that got announced today, or I guess the biggest thing that will change, to say change streaming, it feels broad and it feels very, what's the right word? It feels like to say it will change streaming, but it's hard to say as to like, if it'll be like, this monumental, it's gonna be big. Like, I don't want to oversell it, but I also don't want to undersell it. But it's gonna be very impactful, especially to like smaller creators such as myself and even people smaller. The coolest thing is they're launching multi-aspect streaming. At least that's what they're calling it, where you can stream in both horizontal and vertical at the same time with the same chats under one link, which I think is sick. Now, if you followed me for any duration of time, I think it was a couple years ago, I was trying to do horizontal and vertical dual streaming at the same time on YouTube. And I ran into a problem, and maybe it was just me, but I ran into a problem where the vertical audio would get so out of sync that it would be like 5 minutes behind, where you just were hearing things going on in the game that had happened forever ago visually. And so it was a big problem, and it led to me stopping the vertical dual streams because it just wasn't a good user experience. People who came into chat felt like they were being neglected because they would say hi, and then 5 minutes later I would say hi. And it's like, if you have, stream how you want to stream, but if you have two people in a chat and somebody says hi to you and you ignore them, it's kind of wild. Like, if you have tens of thousands of people and your chat's just rolling, it makes sense to not see everything because everything's happening so quickly. But when you get one chat message and you don't respond to that chat message, you kind of seem like a tool. And I don't want to come off as a tool. So I stopped the vertical streaming altogether. However, with this new feature that YouTube announced, it appears that, well, it doesn't appear that, it is the case, that it will convert your horizontal stream into a vertical stream so it shows up on the short feed, which, in case you haven't known, shorts are very beneficial for YouTubers in terms of just viewership and subscribers. Now, I'm still learning how to properly utilize shorts and convert them into these massive subscriber view mega pools. Because, I mean, I've seen countless people say that shorts are like cheating and super easy to get subscribers. And I personally, that's not a problem that I'm having, but I'm sure eventually I'll figure out how to do it. But that's beside the point. This, though, will get your streams in front of a lot more people at the same time. Also, another problem I was having was that since the chats are entirely separate because they're two separate streams, if you have moderators or want moderation outside of yourself, you have to like have people be in that stream to check it and, you know, keep everything rolling. With it being all in one, your moderators can pick their preferred viewing style, whether that be horizontal or vertical, and moderate appropriately, or not have to like bounce back and forth, can just do it all in one fell swoop, which is pretty sick, pretty cool. Now, with that, in terms of the integration or how it's going to work, I'm still learning about it, so maybe later in the video we can talk about how it will actually be implemented. But it looks like there's two separate ways for you to have the vertical stream. You can either have YouTube zoom in your stream, which probably won't look great. I'm assuming too they'll let you kind of, if you have a face cam off to the side, they'll let you orient that like above the gameplay, and you can kind of set it up the way you want to. But initially, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. Also, or the other way, is I think they give you a separate stream key. So if you have, like in OBS, you have the vertical plugin that I have, and then a lot of other people have for clipping and whatever. But you can utilize that orientation. So if you have like a specific like overlay, or to maintain the quality without it just being 720p zoomed in, you can do so natively, like on OBS or your preferred, I don't even know what you would call software for streaming, like output, software output. But with that in mind, you can utilize that. Now, that's to my understanding. I'll do some more research on it and look into things that have been said, and they put out some pressers, and I've gotten all of my information from Moaz. Shout out Moaz. Absolute goat on Twitter. If you're not following him, strongly recommend it. But he was at the thing live, posting the entire thing, and so that's how I'm getting all the information I'm relaying today. Now, another cool streaming another cool streaming tool that they're adding as well will be, I believe it's called practice mode. And with that, you can go, if you aren't used to being live and you want to stream and you want to work on your camera presence and you want to practice streaming and going through all the processes of streaming, but you don't want people actually in there, or you want to feel like there's more, you want to get used to like what it looks like to read chat and interact with chat. Apparently, they're dropping a practice mode, which allows you to kind of get a feel for how it's going to look on YouTube. Because I know that is a problem I've had, like when I first started, was going live and my audio maybe wasn't right, or the overlay didn't look right when it was like pushed to YouTube, or the quality was off or something. You can do so without doing like a private stream or going into like members only or subscribers only mode and going through that, and you kind of get a feel for what your audio outputs are going to be and whatnot. But also, apparently, there might be like a fake chat as well that's, you know, sending messages, so you can get used to looking at chat and interacting with chat and what that looks like. So when you start streaming for real and you have real people in there, you kind of have a muscle memory almost. Because I know when I'm just playing by myself, no stream on, I will instinctively do something and look at where my chat normally is on the monitor, and I have to remind myself, you're not live right now. It's 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. You're not actually streaming. So you can kind of build those habits and get used to reading and how all of that works. Because I mean, it sounds really easy, and I'm sure it is for most people, but I know when I first started, when you go from making videos or even just playing and not streaming, the aspect of chat is definitely something that you need to like work on actually checking and like getting used to it being there. So having a practice mode where you can really dial in your audio, really dial in your video, get used to looking at chat and actually seeing messages in chat, whether it's a bot or not. Again, I don't know how public this will be. I don't know if you can go live and your viewers can actually tap into the practice stream and have bots and real people in there, or if it'll just be bots. Again, I'm still looking into this stuff as it comes out, but still very cool for people that want to get into the streaming game and want to feel what it feels like to have people interacting with your content, getting used to that. And also, again, like I said a couple of times now, really being able to dial in what your audio settings need to be and how it sounds on YouTube versus, I mean, if you're not hearing if you're not getting an audio preview, or I don't know the exact words, I'm terrible at this, but if you want to really hear what it sounds like coming out of YouTube and need to adjust accordingly, you have the ability to do so. Oh, another victory for the OGs, taking down the workday. Today, chaotic, crazy, all over the place, but it was good because there was not a shortage of anything to do. We were grinding the entire time. It started a little slow, to be fair, but it picked up quick. I mean, like cookie order, and just all this other crazy stuff. So it was just a little bit of a wild day, and it ended up being great. But yeah, I'm super pumped about all the changes YouTube's making now. All the changes, I think Colin and Samir were talking about how there's like over 30 plus announcements today. But some of the highlights were some of the ones that I went over. Oh, and then also, I guess like last thing, I don't want to bog this video down too awful much, but another feature that I saw was kind of cool was that YouTube will watch your stream or your video as it's live or as it's out and generate, I think I saw up to 3 clips. I hope that it's not capped at 3, but I also understand if it is. But will generate clips from your stream. We're just looking at it from a stream perspective, but it will generate clips that are instantly ready to post. It will take them and I'm assuming work them in the algorithm and kind of see what would perform well for you and makes them make shorts ready to post. So you finish stream, I'm assuming it takes some time to process them, but you finish, it processes, it shows you some shorts that it thinks would do well, you approve or disapprove them, and boom, they go up on your channel, and there you go, there's more short form content, which I do think is pretty cool because there's a lot of platforms out there that will do that as well for you. But I know one of the channels that I was looking at, one of the problems that I had encountered was that if your streams were over 3 hours long, it would not, for free, it would not clip them. You had to pay for like the premium, the pro model membership in order for it to clip it for you. But with YouTube, I don't think YouTube will care. I could be wrong, YouTube might do the same thing. But as far as I've read so far, that's not the case. Great day though, lots of great new features for YouTube. I'm super pumped. Some things are a little bit scary, but at the same time, there are some things that are really cool and I think are gonna help a lot of careers and hopefully help mine quite a bit. No sunset, because of course there's no sunset.